Now going to the next part, for practice set 8.2, we have questions there related to the figure which is a cone. So first let us learn what we have to learn regarding a cone and the terms related to it. Now when we talk about a cone, easiest example is the ice cream cone which we can remember. You see this figure here. Okay, it is kept downwards such that the base of the cone is a circle. Okay, so here you can see here, this is a cone, the pointy part is on top, the base which is a circle is below, and now we see the explanation given here. Since the base is a circle, it will have a center, and we have taken the center as O. O is the center of the circle which forms the, now this is the base, so we write which forms the base of the cone. Okay, then they are talking about the radius. So this is a circle, the radius will be OB. So we can write here segment OB is the radius. Further, segment dash is perpendicular to the radius at point O. Look at the figure. This is perpendicular to the radius. So segment AO is perpendicular to this radius at this point O. So we can write here segment AO is perpendicular to the radius at point O. Therefore AO becomes the perpendicular height. Now why is it essential for us to mention this word perpendicular height? Because in a cone we have two types of height. One is perpendicular height and the other is slant height. Okay, so here this AO is the perpendicular height. So therefore we have written segment AO is the perpendicular height, and this perpendicular height is represented by the letter H. You will see in the figure there, AO is represented by the letter H. That means there is one more height, as I told you, called the slant height. So segment AB is called the slant height. Slant height, which is represented as L of the cone. So segment AB is the slant height L of the cone. Look at the figure. AB is the oblique segment which you can see here. Segment AB is the slant height L of the cone. So we have two heights in a cone, the perpendicular height and the slant height. Now there is a relation between the perpendicular height, slant height and the radius of a cone. Let us see what is that. Now after writing this, we know that this triangle AOB is a right angle triangle. Why is it a right angle triangle? Because one of the angles is a right angle. So we write here triangle AOB is a right angled triangle, and in a right angle triangle we know we can use Pythagoras theorem because this is a right angle triangle. So we write here using Pythagoras theorem. Look at the figure. The hypotenuse square, that is AB square, is equal to AO square plus OB square. So we write here AB square is equal to AO square plus OB square. But what is AB, AO and OB? AB is L, AO is H and OB is R. Therefore what happens now? This becomes L square is equal to H square plus R square. So we can write here L square is equal to H square plus R square. So this relation, we know that L is the slant height, H is the perpendicular height, R is the radius of the base of the cone. This relation between the three is called as the relation between the perpendicular height, slant height and the radius of the cone. Now we go to the different formula to deal with the cone. Okay, now first of all, this is the base and we said the base is a circle. So what will be the area of the base of the cone? Since it is a circle, the area will be area of a circle, and area of a circle is pi r square. So we can write area of the base of the cone is equal to pi r square. Now coming to the curved surface area of the cone. Now curved surface area of the cone, we are seeing that we have to use the slant height, because the slant height is giving us the circumference here. You can see here it is at the side, right? So this is L. So the curved surface area of the cone is given by pi r L. Okay, if you remember, when we took the curved surface area of the cylinder, we said that it is 2 pi RH, but here it is curved surface area of the cone is pi r L. Now coming to the total surface area of the cone, since this is the curved surface area of the cone, it is the curved surface area only of the above part. We are not talking about the base, which was a circle. So if you are not talking about the circle, when we say total surface area, it will be curved surface area plus the area of the base, and area of the base already we said is pi r square. So what will be total surface area of the cone? Area of the base of the cone plus curved surface area of the cone, that is pi r square plus pi r L. So now in both this pi r square and pi r L, we see that pi r is common. So we write here this is equal to pi r, which is common, and now what is left? One extra r here, and if pi r is out, what is left? One extra L here. So pi r into L plus r, or pi r into r plus L. The last formula to deal with the cone is the volume of the cone. Now volume of the cone is given by the formula 1 upon 3 pi r square h. Now this 1 upon 3 into pi r square h, we know that pi r square h is always given by the formula, that is volume of a cylinder. So we can also say that volume of a cone is 1 upon 3 times the volume of the cylinder. So we see that the volume of a cone is a part of the volume of the cylinder. What part of it? 1/3 part of the volume of a cylinder. Or we can say that volume of a cone is volume of the cylinder divide by 3. That is divide by, that you take it upon and divide by 3. So that is the relation between the volume of the cone and the volume of the cylinder. Now with this introduction, we go to practice set 8.2.